S1, for example, simple S1 for which table I'm creating for this name purpose I'm creating. So this name I have to take. My table name is what now? So call is enrollment details. Okay now, call is enrollment details. Okay now after that, what it was happened. So once you created your shortcut name, what is my shortcut name for college enrollment details table? My shortcut name is S1. My shortcut name is S1. Okay, so S1 is a shortcut name for your college enrollment details table. Okay, so whenever you created one shortcut name on this lengthy table name, then what happened? The two user next time, whenever you want to call, okay, whenever you want to call this table, then I don't want to use college enrollment details. I want to use select star from S1. It's very simple. Select a star from S1. Okay. Now, if I want to insert, then what I want to insert into S1, sending values of, so some values I'm passing. Some values are I'm passing. Next one, what it was one? Update. Update S1 set some values are we are passing. Okay. Now delete. Delete from S1 and some values are we are passing. Okay, then finally what it was happening as here. So in place of, see here, I'm writing select a star from complete table name I'm using, right? But in place of complete table name, what I'm using is shortcut name S1. Very simple. We are using S1. So now here, very easy for you to write a query, and we don't want to remember this much lengthy name, as well as we don't want to write this much lengthy name in my every query operation is not required to write like this. So what it was happening here, so now simply I'm going to call. So that means what happened once we created synonym on particular table name, so next what it was happened, instead of this table name, we are using shortcut name in place of table name. The shortcut name is called as what now? S1, and it's called as a synonym. Okay, this is called as a synonym. So that means what you say here, synonyms are, we are creating with the help of synonym. What your shortcut name we are going to be creating on your original table names. Okay, so the advantage and purpose of synonym is what now? Okay, the main purpose of synonym is, the main purpose of synonym is to reduce lengthy, okay, to reduce lengthy table names. Okay, to reduce lengthy table name. So whenever you want to reducing some lengthy table names, so there we can use a synonyms. So there the people are creating what now? Synonyms are creating here. Okay, synonyms are creating here to avoid your lengthy table names here. Okay, now that is the main purpose of synonym. So, and this is, okay, how to create it means by the help of some syntax here there, and with the help of some syntax you can go to create now. And now let me see one small example. We will create it in database, then observe. Okay, now right. So suppose, okay, so we need to use our database now. And now come out and see guys here. So in MyDB 6 p.m. In MyDB 6 p.m. Okay, now. So can you see here tables? We have it here. So open your tables folder. And here we have some table names are there now. Like this, some tables are, we have it here. Okay. So these are some tables, we have it here. Okay. And below, if you come to below, can you see here, one folder is there. What is the folder name, guys, here? Are you finding this one? Come on, guys. Are you finding this one? What is the folder name? Yes, synonym. So synonym is one folder, we have it in our database. Let you open this one. Present, there is a no synonyms names. There is no synonyms. So we are not created any synonym. Okay. Let you come back now. Now, one of my table, for example, okay, one of my table is called as a select star from DAPT is one of my table is there. So this is one of my table. And this table, okay, this is your table information, etc. So suppose this is my original table name. One thing, careful observe. This is my original table name. And suppose this table name, you just assume that it's a very big name is there. Is a very big name is there. Okay, otherwise I will create one table of that. Otherwise, we are creating one table. Create a table. The table name is what I said here. College. Okay, enrollment details. Okay, this is one table we created. In this, student ID number, student name. Okay, the student branch. Okay, the branch name. So etc. etc. Okay, now we have here. Okay, this is one big name or one table name is there. Now in this table, okay, in this table, now can you suppose assume that this is one table we have it. So this is very big name of this table called is enrollment details. Then what it will happen? Suppose if I'm not creating any shortcut name on this table, then definitely you have to use this table name as it is. Okay. In your operations, whatever you're going to do, the database operation, as it is, this name you have to use it. Okay, now we can see this is my big name is there here. Can you identify here? This is my big name is there here. My big name is what now? College enrollment details. So this name every time, suppose you have not created any, okay, the synonym is not created or any shortcut name is not created, then this entire name should be, you have to use it. Okay, this entire name should be, you have to use it. Okay, right. Now, for example, you can suppose I want to do, okay, I need to perform some operations on this table. Then suppose insert operation I have to do. So insert, I'm passing college enrollment. So that much big value, big name I'm using. Student ID 1021. Student name is Sai. And the student branch is, for example, CSC branch student. Okay, now? Right. This is one record I'm inserting that. One row is affected here. Okay. Now, okay, successfully we inserted. And now suppose if I want to go update. Here also update means I have to write entire spelling now. So all is enrollment details. For example, suppose the branch name is, the branch is equal. So I will take EEE. Okay. Then where student ID is equal to 1021. So this is also be done. So like this, what it was happening, any operation you can go to do it. So compulsory, we should write it that entire name. Suppose you can see now you got it or not. Okay, now you can call this selected statement. I'm calling with the same name and see 1021 Sai Tripoli branch. Okay, now like in the same to same, for example, you have to write a delete command. So delete from college enrollment details where student ID is equal to 102. Okay, 1021. So that means what we are doing this operation right here. Okay, what we did in this operation. So we are going to be calling, inserting, updating, deleting. So any kind of operation you want to perform or you want to do it on this table. So that entire table name you have to use in your queries. Can you see this entire table name I'm using? Okay, this is we can go to right here. But now what happens? Suppose you feel, why should I want to write this much name in my queries? To reduce this query or to reduce this name, okay, then what we want to do, guys, I said, the people are creating some synonyms. Synonyms means what now? Synonym means what now? Another name is creating, which is flexible to user when he was writing queries, which is easy to remembering purpose, or our flexibility purpose, Okay, now, so now I'm going to using here, let you observe that date, synonym, suppose I'm giving here, yes, okay, one I was given. For which table name I'm going to creating here, college enrollment, okay, details table. So college enrollment details table, for this table, okay, I'm creating one shortcut name. That means I'm reducing this much big name, I'm reducing by using of S1. So now what it was happening, guys, here to execute this one and to execute. So command completed successfully. But what happened? These are the whatever you created the synonym name for this table. This is what I'm saying here, permanent name. Why? Because this name is saved in your database. And now let you come out. Where it will be saved here means synonyms folder. Now synonyms folder, what I'm going to do, my synonyms folder, I just refreshing now. I'm going to refreshing now. So when you refresh, let you see and open, see you are tell me, yes, one synonym is created, guys, come on. Come on, guys. Shortcut name is created. Huh? Yes. So we created shortcut name. What is our shortcut name here? Yes, one is our shortcut name. So that was created successfully. Okay. So that was created successfully. So after created this synonym, then what we want to do, guys, here. Now, next onwards, when you want to perform your testing operation, when you are performing, then I don't want it to use a college enrollment details table name. Instead of that name, what I'm using, yes, one. See, now we can see how much simply we can do. Insert into S1. The S1 means what? Which table name? College enrollment details table. But in place of that, I'm just using S1. So S1 sending values of 101. The name is Alan, and okay. So what we can say, the branch is IT branch. Okay. Now I'm going to execute it. What it was happened? Yes, successfully executed. Now we can call. I don't want to use college enrollment details name because instead of that, I'm using S1. Now we can see successfully 101 Allen and IT branch created successfully. Now into same to same, you need to update. Update S1 said, okay, branch is equals to some, I'm giving here, what is the branch here? Civil. So civil, where student ID is equals to 101. Now the branch student ID is equal to 101 I'm giving. So now what happened? You see S1 I'm using, right? Now I can export. Successfully updated. Now you can call. And S1 is nothing but all is enrollment table. Yes, successfully called. So now if you want to delete here, you can delete also. Delete from S1. Okay, where student ID is equal to 101. Okay, now I can delete. Yes, and now you can key, okay, call your table. Yes, there is no data. So now in this case, now see how much easily I'm going to writing my queries without taking my lengthy name in my query. So with the simple and shortcut names I'm using in my queries to do operations on this college enrollment details table. Okay, now college enrollment details table. So like this, you can create a number of names so you can create on your tables. Okay, right. This is one small topic, guys, here. And now suppose this name I want to drop, so you can drop synonym S1. If you want to delete the name, yes, suppose your work is completed, you are deleted. Yes, you can delete. Commands completed successfully and come back. To come out S1 is there now. Just refresh here. Just refresh here and see S1 is dropping us. So there is no S1. So like this, the users, that means programmers, they're creating some shortcut names and they're working, and later, if you want to keep, you can keep it permanently. Otherwise, somebody's work now, after work is completed, they are going to be deleted. Okay, so this is work premises. In work premises, when we are working on database and your table names are very lengthy names are there. So in that cases, in that situations, the real-time programmers are creating some shortcut names. With the help of the shortcut names, they're going to do their activities. And after activities are completed, their work is completed, somebody dropping, somebody keeping. Okay. So if in the future also, I want to work on the same table, then I'm keeping that synonym, okay, whatever it was I created. Otherwise, in future, I don't want it, then I can remove, I can drop from my database. So this is one small topic, guys, here in your SQL part of SQL Server. Okay, right. And the next one is, okay, the next one is identity. The next one is called as what now? Identity. So identity of a seed, increment. Identity of a seed, increment. So this is one predefined function or method also we can say. So this predefined method and function, why we want to use means, okay, this identity is called as it is a predefined method or function, which will apply on a table column, apply on a table column to generate ID numbers, generating ID automatically. So this identity method, when it was going to, that means what is the use of this one means? So this identity method, when we apply on a particular table column, so in that column, your ID numbers are automatically generated here. So auto incremental values, when you want to generating in your ID in your particular column of a table, so there we can use an identity here. Okay, and this identity, is having two arguments. That's here. It's having two arguments. two arguments. Okay, having two arguments. Those are first one. First one is what now? Seed argument. Second one is called as a incremental argument. Incremental argument. Okay, seed or incremental argument. Now here, what is seed? Seed is telling us it is a starting ID number. Okay, so from which ID you want to generate your ID number, so that was telling by seed. Incremental is nothing but, okay, it was telling us the incremental value in between IDs. In between IDs. Okay, and suppose user doesn't give, which user is not giving any seed value, what it was happen, guys, here it will be taken by default 1. Same to same. When user is not giving incremental value, then it was taking by default 1. By default 1. So these are the default value of a seed and increment values required. Okay, right. And now how we can apply this identity on my table column means here there are, okay, syntax will be there. The simple syntax here, guys, here. So I'm giving here column name as usual and column data type, and after that size. Okay, and after you have to give identity. Okay, you want to give identity of, here you have to apply seed comma incremental value. Okay, incremental value. So now this is a syntax now. Okay, and now let me come out and see how we can use it here. Observe. For example, now I'm creating one sample table, guys. Here. I'm creating one sample table here. So create table. The table name I'm taking, for example, my table name is, okay, test number 44. Okay, right. Suppose I'm giving here employee ID. It's an integer type, and there I was applied here identity of. Suppose I just leave identity. I'm not giving any seed value or increment value. I'm just applying identity. After that, I want to give here the name, okay, and it's a passing. But here, for example, suppose here, for example, this is one, okay, one table we created. For example, here, suppose before that I'm giving serial number in this. On serial number is also I'm using identity. So here, what it was happened, guys, here, I'm applying identity on multiple columns here. One is a serial number column we applied it. On EID column also we applied it. So then what it was happening to see and to execute this one, it was showing some error message, and the error message what now can read multiple identity columns specified for a table test number 44, but only one identity column per a table is allowed. Guys, carefully observe what it was telling here. Are you applied multiple identity columns? Are we applied? But what your server is telling us, multiple identity columns are not allowed on your table, and every table is allowed only one identity column per a table. So that means more than one identity column, sir, we cannot create in our table. So that is not possible. That's why take only one identity. Okay, now, right. So now I'm just going to execute this one. Okay, so your table is created. But tell me, guys, here, the table is successfully created, fine. But your identity is seed value and increment value I was not given. The programmer is not given here. So when programmer is not given here, then what it was happening, you can see, Okay, what by default it was taken, if you want to see means, you can go to sp underscore helper test number 44, you can go. So let you see, I'm going to sp underscore help test number 44. So when I'm going to see this one, the structure of table I can see, but in the structure of table, carefully come out and see it here. See, I was applied identity here. So identity, whatever I was applied here, this identity I was applied on which column, guys? Here, EID column. So column name. And what is by default seed value was taken? 1. What is your increment value was taken? 1. So that means by default, when user is not given any value of seed or increment, then what it was happened by default to 1, 1 it was taken. By default to 1, 1 it was taken. Okay, now so this is what we called as that. Okay, right. So now let me see. Okay, by default 1, 1 it was taken. Okay, fine. And now I just go to insert. When I'm inserting here, so insert into, suppose you can see test number 44 and sending values. I did suppose manually, suppose user is inserting manually, for example, EID 1 and some name I'm giving now Sai. So here observe guys careful. After we applied your identity facility, after we applied identity facility, but still user try to inserting value for EID column. That means that manually user is inserting value for your ID column. Manually we are inserting value for your identity column. Then what it was happened, sir, when I'm inserting manually? Let you see what it was happened. So now it was going to be giving some error message. So what it was telling guys here, an explicit value. Explicit is nothing but user defined value. Explicit is nothing but user defined value. So user defined value for identity column in a table test number 44 can only be specified. That means when you can give it, when we can pass it means can only be specified when a column list used identity insert property is making on. Identity underscore insert property is making on. So whenever you want to go for this identity underscore insert property is making on, then only explicitly user can insert value for identity column. Otherwise, user cannot. Otherwise, user cannot insert value to identity column. Okay, na? To identity column. So this is what it was happened, guys. So we can't insert explicitly. Okay, suppose your column is an identity column, then we cannot insert manually or explicitly. User cannot insert a value for identity column. Okay, so that means what happened here? This column values automatically generating by your system with the help of identity property. Okay, but how to insert it? Insert into test number 44. Okay, so I'm passing only ename column, sending values of yes, I'm passing a Sai. Okay, otherwise I'm taking some another name is Alan. So now we can see in the second case what I'm using, I'm not sending, the user is not inserting any value. User is not inserting any value for your ID column, and even though ID column value I'm not mentioned in my query, I'm just giving my non-identity column name, and for that non-identity column purpose I'm passing one name, that is Alan. Now we can go to execute guys here. Now I just execute it. So one row is affected. After affected one row, let me come back and call your table. Select star from test number 44 and execute it now. Then see your one is automatically generated. Okay, same to same when I'm giving another name, for example, Jones. Now I'm executing now. Jones is also accepted, and let you see the number 2 is automatically generated because increment value by default 1, starting value by default 1, increment value by default 1, 1 plus 1, 2. Like this, you can insert any employee name, for example, Ward. So Ward is also accepting here. Then come back here. Okay, P was generated. So this is what now, without user-defined seed value, without user-defined seed value and increment value, by default, automatically your seed is 1 and increment is 1. So based on that, your IDs are generated. This is one type of identity you can use on your table column. Second one, for example, you're thinking, sir, I want to give my own value, for example. So at this moment also you can create like this, create a table number 45. Okay, EID identity offer. Now I'm giving, suppose seed value, I'm giving 100, increment value 5, I'm giving now. I'm giving now. So my starting ID number is 100. How much increment for every ID to ID, how much increment? 5 is increment. Now let you come back and to execute now. Let you come back and to execute now. Okay, my table is created. After created table, let you come back and see. Suppose again here also same. Suppose if you inserted 1 comma Sai, this is not allowed as usual. This is not allowed as usual. Okay, now it is not allowed. Okay, now you can see the one is allowed or not. The one is allowed or not? No, not allowed. Because here cannot insert value identity column. Explicitly user cannot. So now let you come out. Now I'm inserting, okay, except identity column, this non-identity column I'm taking and passing here Ward. See, now row is acceptable. And now you can see here, okay, 100. And you see identify. Your seed is start from, the seed number is start from 100. Okay. Now, for example, in the next name, suppose I'm giving here Smith. The Smith, I'm going to execute this one. Okay. One row is affected. Let you come back and see this one. So 105. So after 100, next your ID generated with the increment of 5. So 100 plus 105, 105, it will be taken out. In the same to same, suppose if I'm giving here one more name, I'm giving now Miller to execute this one. What it was happening, you can see the 45. Okay, you can see 45. So 110 is okay. Now, so like this one now, your user defined values also you can pass. Okay, user defined values also you can pass it here. Okay. From where you want to start your seed and how much increment you want to give in between, okay, IDs, so that also we can use it. Okay, now, so this is what. But in this case, what it was happened, can you see, once you applied your identity function or method on particular column, then explicitly we cannot insert. Explicitly means what I said. User cannot inserting the value. User cannot inserting the value. Okay, now that means user defined values are not allowed. For example, suppose you can say, sir, if I want to insert a user defined value into identity column, then how we can insert it? Or else is there any chances are there? Is there any chance a user can insert a value to identity column or not? Okay, now? So is there any chances are there user can insert value for identity column or not? Okay, if user want to insert a value to identity column, then how we can insert it? And is it possible or not? If it is possible, how we can insert it? So this kind of a question is coming to. Okay, now? Right. So that we will discuss in tomorrow's session, guys, here. So tomorrow I will show you how we can insert the explicit values, that means user defined values, to identity column. Okay, how